The pursuit of happiness is a common goal, but it can also lead to a never-ending cycle of disappointment and frustration. The Happiness Trap by Russ Harris introduces acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, as a way to escape this trap and lead a more fulfilling life. ACT is based on 6 core principles that help individuals cope with unpleasant thoughts and feelings, rather than trying to eliminate them. This approach encourages individuals to identify their values and take action in accordance with those values, rather than being held back by negative thoughts and emotions. Whether dealing with issues as serious as chronic illness or everyday stress, ACT provides a roadmap for navigating difficult emotions and living a more purposeful life. Russ Harris, a therapist who trained with the developers of ACT, shares his insights in this self-help guide to help readers break free from the happiness trap and find greater fulfillment. Principle 1. Understanding the observing self in acceptance and commitment therapy. The observing self and the thinking self are 2 parts of our consciousness that are always in action. While the thinking self generates thoughts and opinions about the world, the observing self simply watches and experiences without judgment. In acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, the observing self is seen as a valuable tool in helping individuals escape the happiness trap. ACT teaches that by focusing on the observing self, individuals can become more present and aware of their experiences, rather than getting lost in their thoughts and judgments. By tuning in to the observing self, individuals can observe their thoughts and emotions without becoming overwhelmed or controlled by them. To help individuals tune in to their observing self, ACT offers exercises like the one described above, where individuals are encouraged to pick something to observe and focus on it without judgment or analysis. This can help individuals become more mindful of their surroundings and experience, and better able to manage their thoughts and emotions. In the context of the happiness trap, the observing self can help individuals recognize that fleeting feelings of happiness are not the ultimate goal. Instead, by focusing on their values and taking action in accordance with those values, individuals can lead more fulfilling lives. The observing self can help individuals stay present and focused on their values, rather than getting lost in the pursuit of temporary happiness. Overall, the observing self is a powerful tool in acceptance and commitment therapy, helping individuals become more mindful, present, and focused on their values. By understanding the role of the observing self, individuals can escape the happiness trap and lead more meaningful lives. Principle 2. Diffusing your thoughts, overcoming cognitive fusion. Our mind is capable of shaping our environment and finding solutions to our problems, but it can also lead us to our downfall. When we start to believe our negative thoughts, we trap ourselves in a state of cognitive fusion, where we blend our thoughts with reality. This is where the second core principle of acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, diffusion, comes into play. Diffusion allows us to treat our thoughts as mere words, lessening their impact on us and helping us focus on creating the life we want. One technique is to add, "I'm having the thought that," in front of your negative thought, making you aware that the thought is just a product of your thinking self. Another method involves observing your breathing and acknowledging thoughts as they come up without getting consumed by them. You can also thank your mind for producing thoughts without being sarcastic or aggressive. By thanking your mind, you take your thoughts less seriously, knowing that they are just words crossing your mind. However, diffusion does not make your thoughts magically disappear. Instead, it helps you accept them and let them be there without overwhelming you. By practicing diffusion techniques, you can overcome cognitive fusion and escape the happiness trap set by your own mind. Principle 3. Emotions, more than meets the eye. Emotions are often misunderstood as uncontrollable, overwhelming, and negative forces that can hinder your path to a fulfilling life. However, by understanding that emotions are just physical sensations that get labeled by the thinking self, you can learn to expand yourself and create space for these sensations to move. Expanding yourself is the process of giving your emotions room to breathe, rather than suppressing or avoiding them. The first step is to observe your feelings through your observing self, as if you're a curious researcher taking notes. The next step is to take deep breaths and visualize your breath flowing into and around the uncomfortable sensation to loosen the space around it. This helps to create space for the sensation to move, reducing the strain it places on you. Finally, just allow the sensation to be there without struggling, resisting, or trying to change it. Accept that it's there and observe it until you find peace with it. This process can be repeated with other uncomfortable sensations you may be experiencing. By expanding yourself and giving your emotions space, you can learn to navigate difficult emotions like fear, sadness, and embarrassment, and redirect your attention to what really matters in your life. Remember, emotions are not what you think they are. They're merely physical sensations that can be expanded to create room for growth and healing. Principle 4. The power of connecting with the present moment. Do you ever find yourself lost in thought, missing out on what's happening in the present moment? This is the work of your thinking self, which constantly bombards you with random thoughts about the past and future. When you give these thoughts more attention than necessary, you become disconnected from the world around you, making it difficult to take effective actions toward a fulfilling life. The key to developing awareness and staying connected with the present moment is practice. Simple exercises such as noting 5 things around you or using your 5 senses to focus on a mundane activity can help you cultivate this skill throughout the day. By connecting with the present moment, you can also better manage unpleasant thoughts and feelings through diffusion and expansion. This involves observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment, giving them space to exist, and then connecting with your surroundings to ground yourself. By practicing connection with the present moment, you can improve your ability to focus on important things and live a more fulfilling life. Principle 5. Living a fulfilling life, the importance of values. Living a fulfilling life is a goal that many people aspire to achieve, but what does it really mean to live a fulfilling life? At the core of a fulfilling life is the concept of values. Values are principles that guide our thoughts and actions and give us a sense of purpose and direction in life. Identifying your values may not be an easy task, but one way to do it is by imagining yourself at the end of your life, looking back on the things you've done. What would you have wished you spent more time on? What matters most to you? By answering these questions, you can identify the values that truly matter to you. Once you have identified your values, you can use them as a guide to make decisions and take actions that align with what is important to you. If you value family, for example, you can make an effort to spend more quality time with them. If you value personal growth, you can seek out opportunities to learn and develop new skills. By aligning your actions with your values, you can live a more fulfilling life and achieve a greater sense of purpose and meaning. Principle 6. Taking values-guided action. Taking values-guided action is the last principle of acceptance and commitment therapy. It involves identifying your values, setting goals that align with those values, creating an action plan, and committing to pushing through obstacles. To begin, you should identify the values from which you feel disconnected. These are the values you want to have but aren't putting into practice yet. Then, set your goals, immediate, short-term, medium range, and long-term, and make sure they are aligned with your values. Next, create an action plan that includes specific steps, materials or skills needed, and a date and time to perform the steps. Write the plan down and commit to following through with it. Remember that obstacles are inevitable, so be prepared to push through setbacks and remain committed to achieving your goals. However, it's important to focus on living out your values instead of fixating solely on reaching your goals. By living out your values, even in small ways, you'll experience a fulfilling life while working towards your goals. Don't let the pursuit of goals overshadow the importance of values in living a rich and rewarding life. Summary. While striving for a fulfilling life, negative thoughts and emotions may arise. But utilizing the 6 principles of acceptance and commitment therapy can transform the way you manage them. Merely learning about these principles isn't sufficient, as it's crucial to implement them in your daily life to achieve a purposeful and satisfying existence. Now, thank you for taking the time to watch, and if you found value in this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And in case you want to buy the book, use the link in the description. Trust me, you won't regret it.